All right, getting ready to share our screen.
Misty,
Uh-huh.
can we talk about our project too?
Yes. And this is one of the videos I'm gonna show tonight gives you a little outlook of it. And then did you see the pics that I dropped?
Yes.
Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about it before we jump off. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. 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 Okay. Like I said, it's a new screen. Let's see what we're doing. All right.
Now that's
Can you guys see this YouTube screen?
No.
I can.
Can't.
I see it.
It's probably my iPad then, because the last time we was on Zoom, I ain't seen nothing either.
Okay. Do you see this hair follicle thingy?
I
Mm-mm.
see it. I
I'm
see
gonna
it.
leave it
Okay.
like that.
Okay. It's recording, so I send you the recording, okay?
Okay, so
Okay.
to stay in.
Yeah, you can stay in unless you want to drop off and jump back in. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's watch this vid and then we'll move over to our lesson.
Okay.
Video will take a closer look at two derivatives of the epidermis, hair and hair follicle, and nails. And so remember, to be a derivative of the epidermis just means that that structure is made of the epidermis. And so what I'm doing here is I'm tracing the boundary of the epidermis. And you can notice that the sebaceous gland, the hair follicle, that's all an invagination of the epidermis, or it's like the epidermis is burrowing down into the dermis, if that makes sense. And so these structures, exocrine glands, hair follicle, nails, they all have this in common. And what I'm trying to show is that it's actually an extension of the epidermis that is burrowing down into the dermis, and that's what's known as a derivative of the epidermis. Let's start by taking a look at this simple picture. And the portion of the epidermis that is extending down into the dermis surrounding the hair, this is the part that's known as the hair follicle. Associated with every hair follicle is a tiny muscle called the erector pili muscle. The erector pili muscle is just a little band of smooth connective tissue. When it contracts, it causes the hair to stand on end and causes what we call a goosebump. And then contained in the hair follicle is the actual hair. Each hair has two regions, the shaft that shows above the surface of the skin and the root that penetrates below the surface.
I'm good.
Let's take a closer look at the bottom of a hair follicle to see some more detail. And so this white area that I'm outlining, that's the outer portion of the hair.
Okay.
Okay, and so this area is the actual hair. And then the pink area surrounding it and the blue area is the hair follicle. And so there are two parts of the hair follicle. There is the epithelial tissue that surrounds the hair. That part of the hair follicle is called the epithelial root sheath. This blue area is the portion of the dermis that forms the outside of the hair follicle. It's known as the connective tissue sheath. And so just like the epidermis and the dermis, let's take a look at this connective tissue that's surrounding the hair follicle. Notice how the connective tissue juts in to the bottom of the hair. That's just like a dermal papilla. It's called a hair papilla, and this is the area where the blood supply comes into the hair follicle. The bottom of the hair follicle that we're looking at is known as the bulb. And when we take a look at the cells that are surrounding the hair papilla, these cells that surround that area are very active cells. It's known as the matrix. And the matrix is an area of rapid mitosis. So this is very similar to the skin itself. We're at the very bottom of the structure, close to the blood supply, are the active cells rapidly dividing by mitosis and producing the hair. We can see some melanocytes.
So I want to pause for a minute. I really like this video because she thoroughly explains the structure of hair. And she's also explaining how hair is growing. Okay. And I love this narrative and the color. The blue is connective tissue, and the red would be the blood and nourishment. Notice how it goes up into that hair follicle, and that hair root feeds off of that. As soon as it feeds, these little brown pieces, the matrix, melansomes, when she said mitosis, that's like repeat. So your hair is always growing except for a small time that it's in pause. But it's usually always multiplying itself. So when people say, my hair's not growing, that's something for you guys to be like, what is actually going on with the circulatory system, or what is actually going on with one of those other systems that's causing a pause for it to seem like this hair is not growing. As estheticians, why do you need that? In this chapter, you're removing hair. You need to know all components of what you're pulling out. So when you pull out through that strip, and you ever looked at the strip and the hair had the little white things on the end, that's a hair bulb. That bulb comes all the way from this little opening that she's describing. And when you pull that hair root out with that bulb on the end, that means that hair, what was in there, is out. That hair has to repair itself and start to grow all the way back up that hair follicle. And so that's why sometimes in waxing, we say waxing removes the hair. You may not be able to get another wax, or your hair stay gone for 14 to 21 days because it needs that rapid growth. That hair needs to rapidly repair, feed, grow. Continuously do that. And your hair picks up its color as soon as it starts to feed. And so I wanted to pause and do that. I'm going to come back here. So when she starts saying melansomes, melanocytes, she's talking about the hair picking up melanin or picking up color. So hold on one moment.
Rapidly dividing by mitosis and producing the hair. We can see some melanocytes within the matrix, and the melanocytes do the same thing. They produce a pigment and inject it into the keratinocytes and give the hair its color. Also in this picture, we can notice the hypodermis, the adipose tissue. Taking a closer look at the hair contained within the hair follicle, you might notice that they're using color coding to show us that each hair has 3 regions. The most central region of the hair is what's called the medulla, and those cells are bigger cells. They're more spaced out. There's actually air pockets in that area. Outside of that, the cells are more tightly packed together. That's called the cortex. And then outside of the cortex, this white area is what's known as the cuticle. And the cuticle is highly keratinized, flat cells that kind of lay like shingles on a roof. The cuticle encases the entire hair. In this picture, you can see that there are two types of hair, both which have the same three regions we just looked at, the medulla, the cortex, and the cuticle. The pigmented hair that we would typically refer to as hair, that's called terminal hair. That would be the hair on the head, as you can see here, or eyebrows, eyelashes, etc. And then there's non-pigmented hair, like the hair that you can see on the surface of the face here. That's called vellus hair. Moving on to nails, which are also a derivative of the epidermis. Here we
Okay. So I wanted to share that, and I wanted to go back one moment because we're going to get ready to talk about this. When you see terminal hair, that's pigmented hair. What areas on the body? Can y'all see this?
Dynasty said, "Could you let her back in?" And yes, we
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Terminal hair is the hair you actually can that has been replaced and that you can see with the naked eye. It has taken on pigment. What parts of the body do you see terminal hair? Anybody?
Terminal hair can be on, well, as she said, the head. You could have it on the arm.
Yeah, underarm.
Underarm. Legs.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course our
private
areas.
personal areas.
Yeah. So those are terminal hair, and it's pigmented hair. It's hair that has the pigment. And when you can see it, most of the time terminal hair is much stronger than vellus hair. And what technique that estheticians love that involves the removal of vellus hair. And you see vellus hair is non-pigmented. They call it peach fuzz. What popular technique that estheticians use to remove peach fuzz?
Dermaplane.
Dermaplaning, yes. So even when you are dermaplaning, remember dermaplaning is initially a blade, even if it's a protected blade or it's a bare blade like a barber. It is a blade on the face. All right. So vellus hair is the hair that you remove when you're doing a dermaplane. That hair has purpose. All right. So I'm getting ready to jump back over into our text for today, and we're going to learn about the types of hair because we're moving into hair removal, and it's just going to get more exciting and exciting because you're going to have any people come in from all over, and you're going to be able to determine when was that last hair removal service. And the reason why I want you to make sure you learn about the growth component of hair removal is because that particular thing, you can do a Brazilian one day, and then in 2 weeks your client is talking about, why is my hair growing back again? Number one, they could have used a different type of hair removal service, such as a razor. Number two, they could have removed the hair during a rapid growing stage. And so it's like a consistency. And we have to do a consultation because what if heredity, they have a rapid growing stage or they have a slow growing stage? You know, there's a such thing as stunted growth, right? Stunted hair growth. And it's heredity. It can be passed down. And that's just something. It's one of those things you just have to learn, and you learn just simply by practicing and observing and asking questions and consultation. So let me stop share, go back here and prepare to go into our lesson. There we go. All right. So our first thing tonight, I want you guys to walk away knowing the listing the types of hair. All right. Listing the types of hair. There are three major types of hair that the video talked about too. There's lanugo, vellus, and terminal. All right. Everybody on earth either comes in or leaves out in one of these stages. Okay. You're going to come in. Mostly everybody is born with lanugo hair. Okay. And you ever heard them say, downy fine hair feels like the baby's behind? That's lanugo. All right. Lanugo is soft, downy hair found on a fetus. The lanugo hair sheds after birth and replaced with vellus or terminal. So sometimes you got people that go into a vellus stage, and then vellus and terminal, okay? Because you have different hair growths based on DNA when it comes to children, so they will pick that up in that growth area. When we look at lanugo, this is where they get the term baby hair from. This is where they get the term baby hair. You know, baby hair, you can take a little water and take that little soft brush and you can make all kind of little swirls and stuff. But when we get to a certain age, do you guys think we have baby hair?
No.
So we're just making up baby hair, right?
Yes.
Yes. So
No, I got baby hairs.
You got vellus hair. You got baby hairs. You still got a little fine hair around your hairline.
Yes.
Okay. Dynasty a little serious about that. I got baby hair. Okay, Dynasty, calm down. You have baby hairs, okay? I know for me, I got great terminal hairs that has replaced my baby hair, and baby, they don't lay down, they curling up, so they good old terminal. I'm really trying to make the decision: am I gonna wear it in or am I gonna cover it up? I don't even know.
And they're stubborn.
And they're stubborn, yes. I don't really want to put chemicals on, so I'm just like, man, what do I do? So we'll figure it out by next week. So excuse me. So when it comes to what we've been seeing adults wear baby hair, I've even seen people take part their hair out around their perimeter, long terminal hair, cut it short to make sure they can have little baby hair. And I'm like, you know how long it took for that to grow out? But hey, it's your hair. Do what you do. But this is sometimes you have to educate the masses when you have clients come in and talking about, they know this hair, they got that hair. You're like, look, lanugo hair is replaced at birth. That's what babies are born with. And what is it replaced with? Vellus or terminal hair. And it's heredity based on what they end up getting. So vellus hair, and we're going to always understand our terms, is found in areas that are not covered by a larger, coarse terminal hair. So we talked about the areas where terminal hair was. Okay, so think about the areas where you don't have pigmented long strands. You would probably have vellus hair. Okay, and so for example, vellus hair usually grows on women's cheeks, also known as peach fuzz. Removing vellus hair, especially against the hair growth, can result in the follicles producing new terminal hairs. So it's not recommended to tweeze, shave, or wax these hair fine hairs. Oh, let's talk about it. What did this paragraph just tell us that we probably shouldn't be doing that we do? And what it didn't say is vellus hair protects the skin, and the skin protects the organs and all the systems. Vellus hair protects the skin. When we remove the vellus hair, we leave the skin supple open for like bacteria to cling directly to it. Vellus hair is in place to like dirt, bacteria, elements in the air gets on the hair first before it touches the skin. And so that's one reason vellus hair is very important. And they will tell us that vellus hair, peach fuzz, should not be shaven, should not be waxed, just simply because it's there to protect the skin. But the trend, everybody know what's popular, is dermaplaning. Yes. Vellus hair, although and I believe in some people it has no pigment, but in most people that coating of vellus hair, have you all noticed that when someone gets a dermaplaning, they look almost a shade lighter because they don't have that blanket of hair that was on their skin? Have you anyone ever noticed that?
Yes, I noticed to give them a more cleaner look.
Yeah, it gives them a more smoother, cleaner look, but it also holds them, a more susceptible to getting my skin dirty and maybe bacteria, pimples, and things of that nature because I don't have nothing buffering my skin. But this is the part I want you to check out. It says removing vellus hair, especially against the hair growth. So if you're going to remove vellus hair, wax, or do a dermaplane, you should remove it in the direction of what? The hair growth. Because if you go against the hair growth and against the hair growth can result in the follicles getting a different message that says produce new terminal hair. So now on the cheeks, you have removed the peach fuzz in the opposite direction. And then you turn around, your client is like, why do I have these long hairs coming in on my chin and stuff? Could it be that initially when the person had the hair removal service, you didn't do it, but over a period of time, they've been going against the grain. And now the follicle has a message to produce terminal hair in an area that normally you would not find terminal hair. So is this an area where we find women that have beard-like tendencies? Yes. Women that will have a couple of hairs, longer terminal hairs on the chin and cheek, yes. It's not necessarily a hormone issue. It's not necessarily an endocrine, not necessarily PCOS, not necessarily any of those. But could it be that the service was done improperly to start with? And so when someone is getting their wax for the first time, their sugar, their thread, whatever for the first time, you got to have a deeper consultation with them because you got to say, hey, once we start this way, this is how it needs to go. And if they are shaving at home, can you imagine them shaving down, up, sideways? And you are causing a memory in that follicle to be created, and that memory is telling that follicle to now produce longer, thicker, colored strands. That's crazy. do y'all understand that? Can somebody give me that the way that you understood it? Somebody give me that about vellus hair.
I think what you're saying is so, like, for example, the like skin, the hair that be on like the face, like the little hair that you could barely see, but you could see it. If they get like a and then you do it in the wrong direction, then you basically telling like the skin to grow the hair back, but more than what was there at first, like in a worse way.
Absolutely right. You're telling the follicle, you're sending a message, and that follicle is creating a memory and saying, I think we now need to I think we now need to grow longer hairs. And it's a myth. Have you heard women before say, "No, I don't want to shave it. I don't want to cut it because I heard it comes back." What do they say? It
That
comes
it
back
comes back
thicker.
thicker.
Yeah, thicker or darker. And you
Mm-hmm.
know what? That probably has some truth to it now that we read this, because it could have been the initial first services were done improperly. Y'all could really capitalize business wise off of that. Having people experience waxing or hair removal for the first time with you, and they get that kind of consultation and education, um and so they're fully aware, and they when they go home they know they're not doing the other way, or they're not going to from different people, jumping from client from chair to chair, bed to bed, um trying to get something done, and then the previous person don't know what you're doing. And so it's a good way to educate clients and build rapport and trust with them by educating them on that. Okay, especially if you're gonna be saying, "Hey, I'm definitely gonna move into hair removal. That's gonna be my thing." And I know that's Destiny thing, not Destiny, Dynasty's thing. I know all three of you guys. I'm proud of you, Jada, for getting that advanced training, and then you're starting to wax. And Miss India, you already know. So I think this is going to be an area for you guys to provide great sound advising. You don't want to give everything away. Let them book a consultation, and then you be able to talk to them about that. But it really brings some truth to it. Okay. So it's not recommended to tweeze, shape, or wax these fine hairs. As you know, people do what they want to do in 2024. It's all over TikTok. And so you can't stop them from doing it. And if you don't do it, they're going to do it at home. But let's evaluate some of the different types of hair removal. You could definitely do threading, you could do sugaring, you could do waxing. um, I will not recommend shaving, although they do for dermaplaning. They consider that a shave as well, but it's not with the same type of blade that you would do in barbering. And you have to be very careful if you're going to put that razor, even if it's a protected razor or the dermaplaning blade on a client. You need to follow the direction of the hair growth. So that means, yes, hair growth of, if you look at the lip, it grows in different directions. The chin, the cheeks. And so that means you're going to have to be light as a feather with that blade in your hands, okay? Because also we don't want to cut the client. We don't want them to feel uncomfortable. So that if you're going to dermaplane, them peaches and them kiwis need to be something you practice all the time, okay? And you can only get better by practicing. So you're going to have to get that barber hand. Barbers have that great stance when it comes to shaving because they're so close and they have their bare blade. You're gonna have to get as gentle as them if you plan on doing the dermaplaning. Let's look at terminal hair. It's longer, coarse hair found on the head, the brows, the lashes, the genitals, arms, and legs. Okay. And so this is terminal hair. All of these could be services that we can provide. Hair removal services we can provide. Now, terminal hair may have few little things going on. It's longer, it's coarser, so it's not going to be as fine. You're gonna need to have the product suitable to remove it. Sometimes we can have a lightweight product and the hair so coarse, the product is not strong enough to remove the coarse hair. So you constantly trying to remove it. And when we do show and tell, or probably we need to go to a beauty supply store, and we need to look at the different types of waxes, because they have waxes for different hair types. And if your client is coarse and you constantly picking up the cheaper one that's for fine hair, that product has already failed your client, because it's not strong enough. It doesn't have the components to really do what it needs to do in a timely fashion. It says, will hormone changes during puberty? How does that look in teenagers? How does puberty look in teenagers? Can we look at them and tell, oh, your body going through some changes? How does puberty look in teenagers? Just what you've seen. What y'all think?
Well, where they didn't have hair, they now start to have hair.
They now start to have hair, and they got it at an earlier age.
Yes.
Yes. Acne breakouts, little pimples. When I start to see that,
deeper.
Voice get deeper. And with young ladies, they start growing in different areas, right? They start growing in areas. Shoes get bigger. They outgrow their clothes. Even with the guys that get taller, and so you notice these changes about puberty, and then that needs to be a target area, y'all, for y'all to really say, I'm gonna hone down, and I'm gonna have a package from facials to hair removal to even mental relaxation services for teenagers, because they go through so much. You can have a whole package catered to the teen, okay? Because one, they're going through puberty, acne, hormones, things trying to figure it out, and then they got to learn how to cleanse their face and all that good stuff. They may be playing sports or not. Man, sport facials, and I just made that up. Sports facials, acne prone, cleansing, everything. Okay. And so a lot of times, I've had this one particular client, and she wanted me to give her daughter wax services at 10. And I would say, I don't mind doing them with your permission, but you're going to have to be here every time that I service her. That's just to protect me. And also, I get her to sign the waiver. And she said, well, I wanted to see if you can give her bikini wax. I said, what I'm not going to do right now is give her bikini wax. Okay. I understand that it's growing, but some stuff you need to let go through the process. Okay. I think a kid up until age 16, where they're able to maintain and monitor and take care of their own bodies and sense and know when they got to take their own baths and shampoo their own hair, up to 16, we shouldn't be, this is my philosophy. I won't pretty much do any Brazilians or relaxers or anything unless they're 16 and up, because I need them to understand how to take care of what I'm doing, and them to understand what I'm doing to them. Also, your hair in the puberty stage, your hair is growing, through this, it's trying to find its way. And so as it's trying to find its way, you don't want to start removing very sensitive hairs in the early stage of hair growth. You could stunt the hair growth. Okay. You could literally stunt the hair growth, because it's just trying to find its way. It's the process. And so a lot of kids under 16, I will not do intimate services or major chemical services on them. What do y'all think about my policy on that?
I agree, because that's a 10-year-old. You shouldn't be. I feel like they don't. I don't know. They are a kid. They can be getting away.
Yeah, and I know they drink a different type of milk and they don't look 10. Some of them may have cycles and stuff, but still, I think at the end of the day, she's checking off the boxes, but she's still a kid. So, and sometimes parents would go somewhere that somebody are doing, but at the end of the day, If you're providing great service and great education, they'll be back. Okay. And then there's an additional return fee as you come back. But yeah, you have to create your policies, stand on them, and then educate them why you choose not to do certain services. You want to give them an opportunity for their hair growth pattern to really just come alive, And I just feel like until they're ready, can really take care of themselves, they don't need those services. It says with hormone changes during puberty, follicles are naturally regulated to switch from producing vellus hairs to producing terminal hairs. Why am I wax that when I know we're going through something right now? Okay. Why am I going to wax that or sugar that when I know we're going through something right now? Everything that my child may see on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, I know it's trending. That's not something we do. That's not something we do. You guys will be considered the expert. There are certain things as experts and then influencers. So you can have influencers that influence people to do stuff, but they may not be the expert. You on hand are the expert. So if you turn around and do this and charge for it, that's a liability that you have to make sure you consider and get waivers and all that stuff taken care of. So that's something to think about, and it's something to educate your clients on. When they're going through puberty, you really get the key to, yeah, they're going through puberty, starting this. We're not going to do no harsh removal because the body is trying to rearrange reproductive system. Everything is growing, stretching, and starting to produce more of or less than, from sweat glands to oil glands, everything. And so why would I cause a horrible action when I know the hair is going from vellus over into terminal hair? And some people may say, oh, when I was younger, my hair was like this. I had what they call, I'm doing air quotes, good hair. I don't know what that is. But people would say that when I was younger, my hair was like this. And now when I'm older, how are you going to explain your hair like this? So it's not a product a lot of the times. It's just simply growth. It's just simply growth. You went from one stage over into the next, okay? When people say kids grow into their color, they grow into different things. Absolutely. Okay. It says, I just want to do these two questions. What's the difference between lanugo and vellus hair? One person. The difference between lanugo and vellus hair.
Lanugo hair is soft, fine hair.
Uh-huh.
And vellus hair is more like a peach fuzz hair.
Yep. Okay. Which one usually you're born with at birth?
That's lanugo.
Lanugo. And then vellus hair replaces lanugo. Or terminal hair replaces it. What happens where it says it's a caution when we are removing the vellus hair? Should we go in the direction of the hair growth or just opposite direction of the hair growth? What did it tell us? Going against the hair growth would cause the follicles to produce terminal hair.
Terminal hair.
Yeah. So we haven't even got on soft wax and hard wax. Hard wax lets us remove it any kind of way. So we got to make sure on the face going forward, if we are removing hair, like people come and get face waxes, and we're not talking just lips and chin and eyebrows. They want their cheeks and stuff waxed too. So when we're doing that, we got to make sure that we're applying the wax in the direction of their hair is growing, just so we don't end up producing and creating a memory for terminal hair to replace that area. And so that's something that professionals, and this is why you go to school to get the key nuggets. So you'll be able to be different from those who are just, call themselves just doing it. And so that's a difference. It said, what's the main catalyst for vellus hairs transitioning to terminal hair? The main thing you mainly see vellus hairs transitioning to terminal hairs through puberty. Okay, it mentions puberty. All right, and there's hormone changes during puberty. Let's make it state that hormone changes during puberty. Any questions? All right. So before we talk about the project, I did want to go over this last section. It's very easy. So if you got the first part, this is, you need to lock this part in right here. It says explain the hair growth cycle. So y'all, when people say, from now on, when people say, oh, my hair doesn't grow, and you're an esthetician, but literally this is the same training, the same information as cosmetologists. Okay. So you'll be able to say, I wonder what stage your growth cycle is in, why you feel like your hair is not growing. And remember, we watched a video that as soon as the nutrients hit that hair root, it's going to receive the color and it's going to begin to start growing. The hair is going to begin to start growing. Hair is always growing, but there's one stage where it's at a pause. So let's look here. It says hair growth is a result of the activity of cells found in the basal layer. All right. So when you're doing your project, you may have already seen basal layer. Okay. They're found, the basal layer, just deeper layers. Those cells are found within the hair bulb. Okay. When, again, think about when you would take a strand of your hair, and if you was to pull it out and you'll see a white little ball on the end, that's the hair bulb. As long as you have those hair bulbs, the hair will continuously grow. It's the point that the hair does not have those hair bulbs. It cannot receive nourishment to grow. All right. So the hair does not grow in those areas. The follicle closes up and that area becomes very smooth and shiny. So nothing goes in and nothing's coming out. Okay. It says hair growth occurs in 3 stages, guys. 3 stages. This is what I want you to get under your belt: anagen, catagen, and telogen. Period. I want you to remember it like that: anagen, catagen, and telogen. All right. So your hair grows in 3 stages: anagen, catagen, and telogen. This is what I want you to remember. Anagen is growing. It's growing. Okay. Catagen is pausing. Telogen is falling out. And then it repeats the cycle all over again. Anagen growing, catagen pausing, telogen falling out. Okay. Falling out, or words like shedding, is not a bad thing. Y'all, we are supposed to shed a certain amount of hairs per day anyway. And then when you have protective styles, when you have braids, think about 40 to 60 hairs that was supposed to be shed per day. And how long do you think you will leave your braids up? Give me an example. How long do you think you'll leave your braids up? Because I be overdoing it. Y'all tell me, what's the average? I know a Dynasty has some braids. Dynasty, how many weeks do you think you should leave your braids up?
Well, I keep my braids up for like, the longest I keep it up is like a month, but I'll be ready to take it down after the first week. I don't think I like braids. Like,
Okay, so you're saying 4 weeks, right?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so 28 days. So let's do 28 days times 60 hairs a day. That's 1,680 hairs that's supposed to shed when you take your braids down. It's just the hair that sheds that you see daily. Because in order, sometimes you will see a follicle that'll have more than one hair in there, and that area start to hurt because you have all those other components connected to the hair, and it's only room for one. So
That's
what
actually
happens?
true because I think that's why I don't keep my braids in long because my braids start to be hurting and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's not. Well, that's telling you that something you have hair growing and it's growing, and as it's growing, the hair that's in there needs to grow come out. And so that's just like a daily shedding. And that cycle is just an example that it's always going on. You always got it going on. And so as you are just say leaving them up 2 3 months, you're going to see a crazy amount of shedding because all of that 60 hairs per day, that's just usually what you'll find in your brush. All of that has been multiplied by all of them days you kept your hair up. And so you can even educate people in your family, or you will know just as much as a cosmetologist. Well, the longer you keep it up, the more shedding you are going to see. It does not mean that your hair is breaking and things of that nature. That's just naturally what was supposed to come out. But as estheticians, here you go. Your main money maker is hair removal. You'll have, when clients come in, you'll have to almost have a notebook to where you jot down, okay, Erica, I did Erica on the 5th of October and she got a full wax. If Erica calls me back within 2 weeks and says that her hair is growing, Erica was in between a stage. And when you're in between a stage, you'll see a client, you in between a pause and a shed, you will see a client says, why is my hair looks like it's growing back all of a sudden faster than what it was before? And when you see that, it doesn't mean you didn't do a good job because they'll say, oh, you didn't get it all. You did get it all. It's just the point they were in between one of their stages. Okay. And once you educate them about that, this is where you stop them from doing stuff at home and messing up the stage, messing up your calendar. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Because if you wax them on the 5th, they got 21 days. Let's say they got 20 days to come back. They should be back on the 25th, no later than the 26th, to get that same wax again. If they are shaving in between, they're messing up the calendar. And so, yes, they are going to see hair growth that their waxes don't last that long because they have started to do another apparatus in the middle of it. Shaving does not remove all of the hair, it just cuts the hair on an angle. And by tomorrow, they'll be able to feel that new hair. Oh, still got hair coming in. That's how you'll be able to feel it. You never cut all of the hair out with the razor. You're gonna leave it's all you may not see it at first, but there's always a little slight piece of hair that's ready to be poked out. And over the period of time, you'll still say, I just got a wax, but I got my hair is growing back already. It's growing back because it's not, it has to be, you have to train the hair, training for the waxing services. And then sometimes people don't like the process and they go choose to do nair, they go choose to do razor or pick up something else where they should have just stayed consistent. So now you have to retrain them when they decide to come back. But it's something when they have education cards, and you can have info nights about a new service, there's something that you can educate your clients. And so, really you want their services to last. So it stops them from doing those temporary services and you being committed to being their waxer. I know some people, they love their pastor, they love they love their pastor, they love their spouse, and they love their waxers. Okay, and waxers are literally hot. They come before the hairdressers. I mean, I never thought I'd see people say, "Oh, we're going to concerts and we're going to this, and I got to get everything done." I'm like, really? Okay, let's get it done then. And Valentine's Day, oh, we're gonna make all the money. All right, because people are gonna go all out. They're gonna spend the money to get it done. And if you know those times are coming, start educating your clients now, because now you're understanding anagen, catagen, telogen. Anagen is growing. If you don't want to read all the words, anagen is growing. Catagen is pause. We're going to chill for a minute. And the intelligent, and they only pause for a little bit. And the intelligent is, let's shed all this old hair. And then we jump right back into growing, pausing, shedding, growing, pausing, shedding. Okay. It says these stages vary in duration on different parts of the body. Scalp hair has a longer growing phase. Okay. So the hair on the scalp can go down to the knees in some cases before it ever gets to a pause and sheds. If you look at your hair now, your hair on your ends are about 4 to 6 years old. If you see someone with long length hair, that hair is about 4 to 6 years old on the ends. It's also a good reason people should get fresh trimmed hair, because the ends can hold on to stuff. And a lot of times people say that the hair, and I've heard this from hairdressers, the hair has memory. And so, especially when talking about wearing natural and texture, it'll revert back to its curl, or it'll remember the flat iron and it'll stay straight. Okay, so hair can hold on to stuff. And a lot of time people say it holds on to tragedy, it holds on to bad memories, and you see them do a big chop. All of that has to do with you learning about the hair growth cycle. So scalp hair has the longest anagen growing phase. Eyelashes have a relatively short duration of the anagen phase before shedding and being replaced. Y'all, eyelashes, which is why we do not need to get our eyelashes trimmed. So them lash specialists, what are we trimming eyelashes for? The cycles for eyelashes has technical terms, and it's cilia and supercilia. Cilia, I believe, is eyelash hair, and supercilia is eyebrow hair. Let me see. Yep. Eyelashes are cilia, CILIA, can grow in abnormal locations and directions. So that's cilia. So the eyelashes, that hair is called cilia. Okay. The eyebrow hair is called supercilia, SUPERCILIA. Two different types of hair. But the hair grows and sheds on its own. Okay? They naturally will replace itself. Okay? So these factors of how well it does that is hereditary, age, genetics, hormones, DNA, a person's health, and prescription drugs. And so this is why we do the consultation, because if clients are, how can I say this? If clients are On medications. Y'all, medications affect diseases and disorders affect hair growth. And so you're sitting up there like, man, Anna intelligent, that's someone that don't got no issues. You good. I know like clockwork. I know how their hair grow. I know how it pauses. I know what time of year it starts to pause and it don't really grow out as much, you know? And I know what time of year it starts to shed and it's just gonna jump back into growing. All right. Um, that can be genetic, it's DNA, or it can be hormones. Y'all, birth control is a medication and it has so many side effects. It can have so many factors why your client's skin, their eyelashes, eyebrows are doing funky stuff, crazy stuff. All right. So hormone replacement, that's why you guys will in this chapter learn about transgenders and things of that nature. And I feel a little disrespected, and I'm gonna go and tell you why I feel disrespected because I'm a woman of color. That they took this textbook, took the time to research how hair growth and skin relates to those who are transgender, but you don't do that for people of color. I'm peed off. I'm telling you. I just want to tell you, when your teacher be in the room with the people, they be knowing I peed off. I'm peed off. Because to me, people of color need more research. We shouldn't have to go find our own case studies and figure it out. We need more research. And it just seems to not the rest of the world or parts of the world or education components, they don't, you know, feel like it's we're not a market. So why would we spend money in their research? But we're showing them, you guys showing up every day, you guys opening up businesses, you guys doing the work, you're showing them every day that you ain't going nowhere. So peace out. Your teacher just had to have her little moment. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So eyelashes, Jada do lashes every day. Jada, you ever dream about lashes? You do them so much, you think about them all the time. Do you ever dream about lashes? You do them so much, you think about them all the time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
But we're going to give you more lash education. Cilia and supercilia, that's lashes and brows. That's for everybody. And then the growth factor, what the client got going on with their body in the inside, it really helps determine what you're going to see on the outside. There are medications like thyroid medications, whether it's for the eyes, the throat, or any other gland. That thyroid medication is hard on a woman's health from when it talks about hair, skin, and nails. So it may be good. I may even say get a little nosy to learn about just your top 5 illnesses or diseases that women face. Because if women is your market, you need to learn about one, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes. Women are leading, especially African American women, pregnancy, reproduction. Those are areas that you need to always, when you see studies and articles and videos in your spare time, I'm always reading something on that because I know the more I know, the more I can help my client when they come in. Because women of all ages and are, those are some of the number one diseases that they have, and the medications for those diseases says we preserve your life so your hair, skin, and nails can go take a hike. But what I need to do, they will come to me to say, even though this medication is saving my life, I still want to look good. Okay. And so it's our job to know the side effects of those medications and what does it cause really what we see. And then because we see this, knowing that medication, it can say, hey, this wax may not be good for this client, but laser may. Laser may not be good, but sugaring may. Sugaring may not be good, but threading may. Or none of these will work, so she should go back to Nair. You have to make the right decision. And you have to know all of those details. All right. So ACT stands for antigen, catagen, telogen. And just let's look at the phases here. Boom, antigen growing, receiving the blood, boom, feeding, catagen pausing, nothing really is going on, and then telogen, you finding that bulb being released and that old hair being pushed out. And as you see that old hair shedding out, look at that new hair starting to grow. That's always happening. So when you see a client, like a male client that has a beard and it's not connecting, or it has gaps, you want to ask them what is wrong. Have you been using razor and then you move to this, then you move to that? Why do we have gaps? I'm going to ask a whole lot of questions why we have some interruptions in this beard. Okay. I ask a lot of questions because it's something going down to the growth mechanism of anagen, catagen, telogen of that hair shaft. It has something to do with the growth. Last word for you, barba, B-A-R-B-A. Barber is the hair on the males. That's the beard. That's the beard. So men already have a tougher texture skin on the face than women. Now they have a coarser hair on the face than women. And that hair is called barber. So I just gave you guys 3 different names for hair on the face. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Dynasty, give me one. India, give me one. And Jada, give me one. So let's start with India. I gave you guys 3 different names for hair on the face, new names. Give me only one.
Is it Anagina? And what is it called? Anagina?
Anagen, catagen,
Anagen.
telogen.
Okay, okay,
Those are the stages of hair growth.
okay.
I'm gonna repeat it for everybody. The 3 types of hair on the face: cilia.
I
That's
got mine.
the
I got
eyelash.
mine.
Okay, yeah. Cilia,
Cilia is the eyelashes.
eyelash,
Who
and
can give me another one?
Um,
What's the eyebrows?
I thought, it's the shorter term of what she just said, but I don't know how to.
It's
supercilia.
supercilia. And for guys to have the beard hair, what is that?
Barbara.
Yep. And it's B-A-R-B-A.
Barba.
I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm excited. And ACT.
ACT. ACT is the growth stage.
I can't hear nothing. Oh my God.
I believe Miss D dropped. She coming back in.
Yeah, I'm back, y'all. I don't know what happened. Are y'all on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Miss D, did you make sure you screen record because I need to watch the video because my screen's still not popping up.
Yeah, it's recording. So it's recording on live on YouTube. So when we finish, I save it and then I send. Okay, let's see, where were we? Okay, so we're getting ready to close out. So something happened there. Here it says y'all can still. Okay, here's the screen. All right, so anagen is the growing phase. Catagen is the pause. And telogen is the shedding, and that happens all the time. You get affect hair growth when it comes to health, prescription drugs, DNA, hormones, things of that nature. We also learned about the types of hair, the 3 different types of hair. Lanu studied that over the break, and we're gonna come back Thursday and we're gonna pick up from there. Maybe do like a little review. Do like a game or something when we come back in the building. So when you come in, we can customize and be ready to wax. And I got it. So when it comes to the project, questions?
What do you recommend using for like? Your phone breaking up, Miss D. I mean, that's compared.
What you say, Jada? What you say you recommend for what?
Y'all phone breaking up, but I had said, what does she recommend us using to make the project?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
But I think she disappeared.
She's trying to look like she's trying to come back in.
There you go.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
we're here. Miss D.
Can y'all see that? Y'all don't see me?
Yeah, I see you. We just
Oh.
we keep losing connection.
Hold on. Okay, so I don't know what happened, guys. Zoom has this new thing. Zoom has this new thing, and it's just I'm trying to learn it. Hello, are you guys there?
Yes, we're here.
All right, finally. Okay. So let's just go here. Okay, so she was saying, what is the
Dada was asking, what do you recommend to
I
do the
suggest you
project?
use?
Yeah,
You can start
to
off.
use.
Yeah. Y'all can hear me?
No, you keep going in and out.
Okay.
I can hear you a little bit, but that's all.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna end, and then I come.
We can't hear you no more.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then you can just put it in the group.
I know. I'm gonna put them in the group, y'all. Love y'all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but do we stay clocked in or clock out now?